Benny Andersson has spent 6 decades proving the same quiet point. Some people don't retire from music because music never releases its grip on them. On May 27th, at ABBA Voyage's 3rd anniversary after-party in London, the 78-year-old Swede slipped behind a piano, called ex-wife Anni-Frid Lyngstad to his side, and rolled into The Winner Takes It All. For the first time in decades, the former couple shared a live microphone, and the room froze. The performance wasn't just nostalgia, it was confirmation. Benny still has it, and the world just leaned in for another verse. But that surprise sing-along was only the latest twist in a lifetime of reinventions. The story opens in 1946 Stockholm, where 6-year-old Göran Benny Andersson sat between his father Gösta and grandfather Ephraim, each squeezing an accordion, until the kitchen walls rattled with polka and Swedish folk tunes. They bought him his own squeeze box, then a battered upright piano. Benny never asked for lessons. He learned by ear, chasing the melodies of Elvis's jailhouse rock one minute and Schlager standards the next. By 15, he had quit school, lugging that accordion across youth clubs for spare change and adrenaline. Most parents begged their kids to hit the books. Gösta just said, "Play it like you mean it." Little did anyone suspect they'd just greenlit one of pop history's most lucrative gaps years. Across 8 studio albums, Bus sold hundreds of millions, from the honeyed disco of Dancing Queen to the melancholy ache of Knowing Me, Knowing You. While tabloid storms brewed over the couple's private lives, Andersson built chord progressions that still refused to sound dated. But by December 1982, the personal toll outweighed the stadium roars. ABBA stepped off the carousel. No farewell tour, no press conference, just silence. Most legacies would coast on royalties. Benny pressed the accelerator instead. Benny's first brush with headlines came via the Hep Stars, Sweden's answer to the Beatles. At 19, he slid behind a Farfisa organ, dyed his hair Beatle black, and helped transform a garage cover band into chart kings. Covers paid the bills, but Andersson's originals, No Response, Sunny Girl, Wedding, Consolation, turned screaming teenagers into lifelong fans. From cramped dance halls to televised variety shows, his songwriting sharpened like a flint. And on one June night in between gigs, Benny met Björn Ulvaeus, a banjo-picking folk singer whose grin hid the same compulsive need to write. One coffee later they drafted Isn't It Easy to Say, and Stockholm suddenly contained a songwriting duo that refused to sleep. A songwriting contest introduced Benny to the flame-haired jazz singer Anni-Frid Lyngstad. Across town, Björn fell head over heels for blonde teenage pop star Agnetha Fältskog. 4 musicians, 2 love stories, 1 idea. Why not sing together? The experiment detonated at Eurovision 1974. Draped in platform boots and glam satin, the quartet belted Waterloo, crushed the voting, and yanked Swedish pop onto the world stage. Radio programmers called it infectious. Critics called it shamelessly catchy. Benny called it only the beginning. Freed from pop schedules, Benny and Björn went theatrical. Their first stage score, Chess, 1984, married Cold War intrigue to synth rock and sold 2 million copies before opening night. The power ballad, I Know Him So Well, topped UK charts for 4 weeks. Critics wondered how 2 Swedes captured Broadway pathos so effortlessly. The projects stacked up. The Gemini albums, film soundtracks, Swedish cabaret scores, and 2 folk jazz solo records, Klinga Mina Klockor, 1987, and November 1989, that allowed Benny's accordion to trade licks with the fiddle troupe Orsa Spelman. By the mid-90s, he'd also delivered an epic Swedish-language musical, Kristina från Duvemåla, whose orchestral suite proved ABBA's pop instincts were only one color on his palette. And yet the widest global audience didn't rediscover Benny on a stage. It found him in a cinema. Producer Judy Kramer dreamed of stitching ABBA hits into a Mediterranean rom-com. Benny and Björn were skeptical until they saw a workshop audience crying happy tears to Dancing Queen. They signed on. Mamma Mia opened in London, 1999, multiplied into 50 productions, and triggered a 2008 film adaptation that smashed every musical box office record. Benny reproduced the soundtrack, hiring the original session players to nail that unmistakable ABBA swing. The DVD went platinum 32 times in the UK alone. Suddenly, a new generation raved about songs written before their parents met. Google searches for ABBA tripled. Andersson shrugged. Good melodies outlived their writers, but he still wasn't finished testing how modern technology could bend nostalgia. While Broadway counted cash, Benny founded Benny Andersson's Orchestra. 16 players, Swedish folk rhythms, and vocalist Helen Sjöholm. Their single, Du är min man, camped on Sweden's radio chart for 243 weeks. a national record. Then came ABBA Voyage, 2022 present. A purpose-built London arena, where digital avatars performed beside a live band. Industrial light and magic captured Benny's every wrinkle, de-aged it 40 years, and created the most advanced concert hologram on Earth. Fans walk out swearing the 1979 tour bus just pulled up outside. Voyage dared skeptics to answer one question. If the melody feels real, does it matter that the singer is code? Benny's answer arrived on opening night. He sat in the back row, cried twice, then critiqued the hi-hat levels like any producer on Deadline. Yet the maestro's biggest revelation came not on a digital stage, but at a private piano. May 27, 2025. ABBA Arena's VIP lounge buzzed with champagne and low expectations, until Benny motioned to the piano. Frida accepted the invitation, and the first notes of "The Winner Takes It All" rippled across the room. Phones shot skyward, executives forgot hors d'oeuvres. They slid straight into Super Trooper, then cheekily tagged "Money, Money, Money." For 3 songs, the past and present occupied the same square meter of carpet, and every witness understood why Bjorn calls Benny the heartbeat. Industry blogs lit up. Could there be more? Benny just grinned. He'd already co-written 10 fresh tracks for Voyage, proof he still trusts melody over marketing trends. But the journey hasn't been all encores and ovations. Behind the velvet curtains, Benny fought a decades-long duel with alcohol. He quit cold turkey in 2001, calling sobriety the day the metronome finally settled. Today he collects Swedish Grammys, knighthoods in the Royal Order of Vasa, and an honorary doctorate, yet still bikes around Stockholm unbothered by paparazzi. Net worth? Roughly $230 million. Proudest asset? Family, wife Mona Norklit, son Ludwig, producer of ABBA Voyage, and 2 older children from earlier chapters. Upcoming checkpoints. A tell-all biography, The Story of ABBA, Melancholy Undercover. Plus a cameo in the documentary Sven, celebrating Swedish pop architect Svenne Hedlund. If Benny seeks a final curtain, he hasn't penciled it in. He'd rather write another bridge, tweak another synth patch, or drop another surprise duet that sends YouTube into meltdown. From a second-hand accordion to a billion-dollar hologram residency, Benny Andersson keeps proving that great tunes are time travelers. They slip past fashion, dodge cynicism, and reappear right when a new crowd needs them. So here's the question. When an artist who could retire instead writes 10 more songs for digital versions of his younger self, does that rewrite what it means to age in pop music? Or does it simply confirm the oldest truth in the business? Bold melodies never grow old, only the listeners do. Tell us below, will Benny's next chord change still give goosebumps in 2055? Or is the real magic hearing a 78-year-old prove the winner really does take it all? Again?